investigation into a weekend shooting in Roanoke continues. Police say 35-year-old Timothy Pendleton of Buchanan was shot as the bars were letting out on Saturday night. Video of the shooting has now gone viral on Twitter, a warning as some may find it disturbing to watch.
Yeah!
Now police are using that video as evidence to help solve this crime. 10 News reporter Shane Dwyer is live tonight at Roanoke Police Headquarters, where Chief Jones just finished a reporter briefing. So, Shane, what exactly did the chief have to say?
Lindsay, Chief Jones says that they do know who the suspect or the person of interest is that was the one that fired the gun in this situation, although they are not naming him because they know who he is, and he is still on the run. That was one of many things the chief had to say in what became a very emotional press briefing here at the police headquarters in downtown Roanoke. Not only was he disgusted, he says, with the shooting itself, but the aftermath. And that video you just saw where people can be heard laughing in the background after a man was just shot on the sidewalk and other people yelling, "Rob him, rob him." This was the scene early Sunday morning as the bars let out right downtown. Jones says 10 officers were on patrol in the downtown area at this time and that they responded to the shooting within seconds. They say a verbal altercation at Awful Arthur's started when someone vomited on another person's shoes. For whatever reason, it then amped up once that group was outside, and that's when the suspect went to a car to go get a gun.
What type of individual nonchalantly walks over to a car, gets a gun, come back and shoot another human being, and then walks away like nothing happens? Most of the people who are in downtown are there just to witness the show. This isn't some kind of rap video.
There have been a few high-profile violent incidents in downtown Roanoke in the last few years, but Jones says he will not be adding more police officers downtown because of what happened over the weekend. Now, that is the exact opposite from what a number of bar, restaurant, other business owners in downtown Roanoke told me this afternoon. So they are planning to work together on their own to try to set some new policies and guidelines to help make downtown a safer place in their eyes. We're also going to hear from management at Awful Arthur's to talk about what they saw happen early Sunday morning. Live in downtown Roanoke, Shane Dwyer, 10 News, working for you.